Okay, here's a video on my case splitter that I made. These are just pieces of aluminum with a bunch of holes in them. They were brackets of some sort. And I took and I cut it into 3 equal sized pieces. Then this middle piece, where it gets thick right there, is 7 millimeters, I think, and then this is like 5. And these are Harbor Freight bolts right here with a washer, and you just mount that there with 3 spots drilled in it. 1 big hole in the middle for the bolt that is gonna split the crank, the one that's gonna take it apart. And just how this works is you have this nut right here, and then through one of these holes there's going to be bolts that mount where the crankshaft is, like the crankshaft's in the middle, then these mount around where the cover is. And then you put a wrench here, and the wrench comes up and hits one of the bolts, and then that's what holds the wrench. And then you just turn this end part right here, you just tighten that, and this pointy part goes up against the middle of the crank where the hole is, and then that will just pull apart the 2 halves once you take out all the bolts and stuff, of course. And this one worked pretty well. I've used it once. I made it for a project that I was doing. I'm taking apart a CR80, doing all the seals and stuff, but you can see it did. There's 1/2 the crank, so it did work. And I'm not gonna buy one of those $70 Tusk ones, because that just seems like a ripoff to me. I don't get why people would buy that if they could just make one for less than $70. And this should last a while. This is the first time I've had to split a crank down the middle using one of these tools. The last time I did it was a 250 Trail Boss, and I just used a steering wheel puller. It's like a piece of metal that has a bolt that goes through the middle, kind of like this one, this pointy, and it has like things coming off of it, but they're not movable, they're like solid. I don't have one with me right now, but that's what I use. And those are a lot easier to strip out because you don't just have a nut and a bolt. You can't just replace the nut and the bolt if it strips out. But that's all for this video. If you go watch my other videos, you can see I have a video of the crankshaft that split, like a whole video on it. Not of me taking it apart, just a video of what I'm doing to it and stuff. So that's all, and hope you liked this video, and hope I can help you. And if you have any ideas on how to get the one of these clutch basket things off, because I know that how I've done it in the past is you take and you get a washer that fits a spring, and you tighten 2 bolts in, which is normally enough. Sometimes you have to do all 4 of them, and you tighten these equally, and that will hold this down so it's locked in. But I don't have any way to wedge it. See? It's just free flow in there, and then I got that on the other side. Maybe I could wedge that. I haven't really thought about that much, but I need to find some way to wedge that. I've tried using this tool. It's like a belt thing that goes around there, and then it has that little like teeth right there, and it holds it. And that didn't work. It just slips. I cleaned all the oil off and it still slips. And if you put it on the gear, it will get like under the gear, and then it just won't do anything. So if you have any idea on how to get that apart, that would really help a lot. In the past, I've had like years to wedge a little rag in to get to the part, but this is just free. There's nothing around it because I already took the crank out. Okay, so that's all for this video.